I love that we're going to be able to talk about this here and just kind of your career and what value you can provide to folks that are trying to get into this business and figure it out, because I don't think there's anybody better than yourself to really understand and really identify like what is a great artist. And so how do you identify a great artist?
It's funny that you say that, because we were just talking about Troy having done this before, and I think I've learned so much from Troy, as a partner and as a brother. But I think kind of identifying, and I don't talk about it very much either, but my dad was a professional athlete, right? And he so kind of understanding.
You know, it's not just a professional athlete. You're talking about Dr. J, Julius Erving.
Yes, sir.
Right? Before Michael Jordan was in the league, like arguably the greatest NBA player at the time.
You could argue that.
You could argue that. You could still argue that with a lot of generations, right?
I still argue that I had the best jump shot in my family.
Really?
That's my argument. I don't know how valid it is. I definitely argue that.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah. But just understanding the discipline that it took to operate on that level, right? Like, and I think that, they, and not just being able to watch my dad, but I was like a ball boy. So I was like around like a lot of the guys I remember, like Magic and Isaiah and Charles Barkley was like really close with our family. Bill Russell was a mentor of my father's and came to my house often. Just kind of watching those guys in the regiment and kind of what it took, right? And like understanding the difference between some of the guys, even guys that I played with, right? Like, and when I coming up, like, the guys that had talent versus the guys that had talent and put the work in,
right?
There was a difference, kind of watching, being able to have a glimpse into like Kobe's world and, kind of how we both growing up in Philly, and playing on the main line in Philadelphia, the guys that put the work in and the discipline is what separated the guys that had talent versus the guys that had talent and really worked. So we've seen some artists that have that thing and have that superpower, but the ones that put the work in and really dedicate themselves to the craft and to the art, there's a separation in terms of like, how they develop, how they kind of move in their trajectory versus the ones that kind of take that superpower for granted a bit.
Yeah.